They did it again? Why? What was wrong with the show that you had to remake it again? Is the animation not good enough? Was it missing the authenticity and realism before, so you decided to turn it into a live-action show to make it better? I don't see shows like The Wire, Breaking Bad, or Stranger Things getting turned into animated series. Why don't they do it? Because it's unnecessary. And I feel the same way about what they did here. Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of my favorite shows of all time. And I bet a lot of you who are watching this video feel the same way. Hey, how you doing? So when Netflix announced they were turning this show into live action, I just couldn't understand it since it was already a show, so they would be doing everything again just with shiny skin on screen? They already did it with the movie and... oh my god, that movie was trash!
I'll say.
No kidding. Horrible. You said it.
But the effects were decent.
So if they already burned me once before, why in the holy mother of would I give Hollywood another chance? Because I'm a sucker, that's why. And I have accepted the fact that I have a brain of a donkey's hoof. And I'm curious, goddammit. Now before I talk about the live-action adaptation, let's take a moment to appreciate the masterpiece that inspired it all. The original animated series has held a special place in my heart for years. I still remember waking up early in the morning and checking out the show on Nickelodeon and just being sucked into every episode, even if it was one I saw many times before. It captivated me with its amazing storytelling, great humor, and important life lessons that stick with me to this very day. It wasn't just a show. It was a journey. It was so much fun learning about this world and also about the characters. Aang, Katara, Sokka, Zuko, and oh my gosh, too many more to count. We're all very interesting and well-written characters. Like the elements, everything in this show was balanced to perfection. It's no wonder it remains a timeless classic to this day. So why remake that? Again, so now you know my mentality going in. And after watching the Netflix show, I have to say, it's kind of a mixed bag. The adaptation is by far better than the live-action film, if that makes you feel better. It's not a shot-for-shot remake of the original, so there are changes, which is great, but not necessarily for the better. One of the things they do in this remake is a lot of unnecessary exposition. They added more layers to the Fire Nation politics, which seemed interesting, but by the end of the show, it didn't really pay off. They even show the Airbender tribe in the first episode before they get wiped out, which was interesting, but I remember that amazing episode when Aang and Zuko were talking about their backstories later in the show, and it was so cool to discover about all that as the story unfolded. In the animated series, they didn't just dump info on you all at once. The animated version did a really good job revealing everything little by little, which made it so much fun and interesting to keep on watching. I never knew what was going to happen next. The live-action adaptations sometimes cram in all this info that feels kind of forced, messing with the flow of the story and not leaving much room for your imagination to do its thing. There's basically no mystery in the show, so I'm not really hooked to see what happens next. Stories feel rushed instead of taking their time, and with scenes being put to fast forward, characters feel less developed, and when they do start to work together, it feels staged since that's what happened in the original. It doesn't feel genuine. The humor feels very tuned down, which I remember there was a lot of funny moments in the original. When this show does have humor, it's just maybe this live-action show doesn't have a sense of humor, I don't know. I do know with animation, what helps is you can draw whatever you want and make any exaggerated expressions, which makes funny moments even funnier, and live action just can't replicate that too well. Without the humor, the world feels a little less vibrant and a little less alive. But that's just my opinion. Avatar: The Last Airbender was more than just a story. It was a journey of self-discovery, filled with moments of awe and wonder. The live-action adaptation, however, feels like a shallow imitation. lacking the passion and depth that made the original so beloved. But I can't say that this show is not the worst thing I've seen. There are great moments in the adaptation, particularly in the performance of certain characters. The actor who plays Iroh did a really great job capturing the essence of the character as a beacon of wisdom and warmth. Really great emotional moments with this guy too. The show even got Zuko right, which was awesome. Zuko and his uncle Iroh are two of my favorite to see on screen for sure. It's performances like these that offer glimmers of hope amidst in the disappointment. Everyone else is not bad and they do their best based on what they have to work with. The costumes look really good too. Just like in the show, it all looks how I would imagine they would look like in live action. Fight scenes are well choreographed and the music fits well in a lot of scenes. The bending looks really good this time around. The way the actors look when they are bending fire, wind, water, earth look really well done, just like in the show. Unlike the film version where it took a group of guys to move one little rock across the screen. The f is that? Netflix's live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender falls short of capturing the magic of the original series. While some performances shine and certain elements are executed well, overall this adaptation lacks the passion and depth that made the animated series a timeless classic. I'm never gonna see this again, when there is a superior version that already exists. But thank God I don't feel like I wasted my time. I am glad I checked it out. I've seen way worse live-action adaptations of animated projects, and this one wasn't that offensive. You can tell the people behind making this show really did love the original source material and tried to make something great. But when the original is so damn good, any kind of attempt to try to recreate that is just gonna fall flat on its face. Yeah, it was definitely less offensive than the live-action movie, but it still doesn't really make a case for why it needed to exist. I heard a season 2 is going to be made, so we'll see if they learned anything and make improvements. Even events that happens in future books in the animated show are in this season 1 of the live-action show. So I'm not sure how they're going to execute season 2. The animated show, without a doubt, is still sitting like a god at the top, while the live-action show movie is at the bottom. This live-action Netflix series is basically in the middle, like a 5 out of 10. Just stick to the original animated version if you've never seen this show before. It still holds up extremely well. Seriously, I don't know why they remade this. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and share the video. That would mean the world to me. So thanks for watching, you're amazing, and I'll see you next time.